Silas and I wanted to show you a game that we really enjoy playing, and it's called Election Night. We're going to show you how it's played, and hopefully you will enjoy it too. The game comes with a game board that's double-sided. One side is addition and one side is multiplication. It comes with 2 dry erase markers. The board is dry erase. And it comes with 6 dice. The blue die are mean 11. So it has numbers 3 through 8, and each number's on there twice. The red ones are mean 13, so they have numbers 4 through 9 that are on there twice. The 2 that are multicolored, where's the other multicolored one? Here it is. The 2 that are multicolored do not have number 5 on them. So they have 3 through 9 on there twice, but no 5s. So what you're going to do is you want to try and win the needed amount of electoral college votes in order to become president. So that's the object of the game. Silas wants to play on the addition side or the multiplication side?
Addition.
Addition.
It's going to be easier to show.
Okay. All right. So you roll 4 die at a time.
I'm red. Sorry, blue.
Okay. So now he can take the 4 numbers that he rolled, which are 3, 4, 4, and 8. He can add them together in any combination of 2. So he can't add 3 dice together. He can only add 2. So what are your options that you have?
11 and 8, 7 and 12.
Okay. So let's say you were to go with 7 and 12. What would that mean?
That would mean that for 12, I could choose a state of this color. So this is gray, so the highest amount of votes I could get is 55 in California. So I'd have to, for my turn, if I chose to do 12, I would cross off one of the pieces of pie. And then if it was Mom's turn and she rolled 12 as well, she would want California because it had the amount of votes that, it's just a large amount of votes. So she would want to cross off another one. And the person with the most pieces of pie covered takes all 55 votes.
Right, would win the state of California. So California has 9 pieces. So the first person to get 5 pieces would then come down here and mark off the 55 votes that they've received from winning the state of California. Okay, so if you did 12, your other number would be 7. So your option would be to come up here.
Alabama.
Alabama has the largest number of votes, and it only has a circle, so he automatically wins the state of Alabama.
And then down here, I mark it off.
And he gets his 9.
5, 9.
Okay.
And then, so 12, California. And now it's your turn.
Okay.
Did you want to do it?
All right, so I have 8, 9, 5, and 3. So I could have 8, and 17, but it only goes up to 16. Oh no, wait, here it is, here's 17. Okay, so, or I could have 11 and 14, or I could have 13 and 12, several different options. So as you're playing, you have to know how to add and create the different combinations and then try and see which is the best move. So I'm just gonna go ahead with 12 and 13. So California would be 1, and then 13 over here would be Texas. All right, and you can see there's states that just have the single dot. There's some that have 3, so you need 2 out of 3 to win Arizona.
Some have 5.
Yep, so like Illinois and Ohio, you would need 3 out of 5 to win that state. All right, go ahead.
Oh yeah, and once you get a state, you're supposed to cross off the state you got up here. So if I got California, I'd cross it off right here. If I got Florida, I'd cross it off right here. Wyoming, everywhere else. 4, 9, 6, 3. I'm gonna do 7 and 15. So 15, I can do Pennsylvania. So this one has 5. And then 7. Do Kansas. I'm gonna end up getting all the 7s, which is not good. Because I'll have barely any votes. But at least I have some.
Okay. In order to win the game, you're trying to be the first person to get 270 electoral college votes. So I've got, just do 9 and 13. So 9's over here, Michigan, and then Texas. And you're also learning geography, learning where your states are. All right, Silas, your turn.
I'm gonna go with Florida. 9. Michigan. Iowa reading.
All right, so Michigan only needs 1 more for someone to take it.
Isn't Blue Democrat?
Yes. Okay.
So you're Republican.
7 and 5 is 12. And Michigan is 9. So I would like to try and get 9, and I can't. So just go with 17 and 12. So we've
Actually,
got...
you can just do 20 and not do it.
No, you can't do a single. You have to have at least 2. It has to be 2 and 2. Okay, so 17 and 12. So South Carolina and California. And so I win South Carolina,
Game.
which will give me 9.
Game.
So now Silas is still slightly in the lead.
In other words, I'm crushing her. 15 and 19? No, 10. Okay. 10. Illinois. What's the noisiest state? Illinois is 15. Pennsylvania. You're going down.
All right, I'll go one more time, see if I can get Michigan. Nope. All right, so we'll just do 10 and 15. So 15 will be Pennsylvania, and 10 would be Illinois. And even though we are, we keep choosing the ones with the highest number, you don't have to do that. You can choose any, like I just rolled a 10. So I could go ahead and just take the whole state of Vermont if I wanted to and get the
Utah.
3. That's also part of the strategy. You just have to decide if you want to go for the higher votes or the lower.
Oh yeah, and at the 10 vote mark, I think, where's Maryland?
Right over here. That's Massachusetts.
So Maryland's right here. So see, right at the 10 mark, it's already got 3. But is there anything with 9? 9. Here, Colorado is a 9, and it has a dot. So right at the 10 point is when you start having, it's split off.
And you have to get 2 out of the 3.
Mm-hmm. And then at 15, I think it's 15. Might be, yeah, so at 14, so New Jersey. New Jersey still has 3. And then at 15, I don't see any 15. Ah, here you go, North Carolina. Actually still has 3, so it might be 20. There's 20. Illinois?
Pennsylvania has 20.
Yeah, and so 20 is when it cuts it off, because Illinois has 5.
But Ohio has 18.
So that must be like 16 or something. Well, 16 is where? 16 is Michigan. So it must be like 17.
So go ahead and flip it over to the multiplication side again. So the multiplication side looks pretty much the exact same, except
really.
now your numbers are higher.
And you got way more slots.
Because as you roll, you're gonna multiply your numbers together instead of add. And then there are a couple other cards that come with the game, so you can change it up and play a little differently if you want. There's red and blue cards for each person, or you can play teams if you want. So in here, these cards, so if you played this card, you could switch one of your dice. So if you rolled a 5, you could switch it out to an 8 and play your card.
No, not just a 5, but any other roll too.
I'm not sure what you mean.
I mean, you said that if you had a 5, you could change it to an 8.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. Anything that you had rolled, you could change it. Change one dice to an 8. The re-roll one time card, you can re-roll every single dice one time on that turn. Add or subtract, you can, if you would rather subtract the numbers instead of adding them, you can do that. Change it to a 9. You can re-roll as many as you want, 2 times in a turn, I think. And then the wild card, you can make this whatever number you want it to be. You can pick one dice and make it whatever number you want it to be.
And then same thing with the reds.
Yep. So, as a mom, I like this game because the kids are getting to practice their math and their geography, addition, multiplication, as well as probability. So, we really enjoy this game. The kids will play together, or just 2 of them, or they'll play on teams. So we hope that you've enjoyed our review of election night. There are a couple other things that we wanted to point out. First of all is that there are some other ways to play that are mentioned in the instruction booklet. One of which is to allow the players to add more than 2 numbers to achieve the number that they're trying to reach. So in this situation, the numbers are too high, so you couldn't really add more than 2. But another variation would be to allow them to add to add 2 together and then be able to subtract 1. So in this situation, you have 17 here, and then you could subtract 4 to have 13, and then your 2 numbers would be 13 and 7, which are both numbers that are on the board. So that's a variation that you could play. Another thing that we forgot to point out is that if you're playing on the addition side, the 4 dice that you want to use are the 2 blue and the 2 red. If you're playing the multiplication side, you need 1 blue, 1 red, and 2 of the multicolored dice. I also wanted to point out on the front of the instruction booklet is this Did You Know section, and that just helps reinforce that this is also learning about the electoral college process as well. And then, let's see if there's anything else that I forgot. I think that's it. Again, we hope that you have enjoyed our description of election night, and let us know if you've played it before or if you think it's a game your kids would enjoy.